Welcome to our second episode. To briefly recap our previous discussion, we ended with events in southern Somalia, where an Islamic movement had emerged, known as the Islamic Courts Union, ICU, led by Sheikh Sharif Sheikh Ahmed, who would later become president. At that time, Ethiopian forces entered Mogadishu and southern Somalia to support the transitional Somali government led by President Abdullahi Yusuf Ahmed. Before their entry, there had been intense battles between Ethiopian troops and the ICU. Major clashes occurred in areas such as Bandi Radli, near the town of Galgacio, Dai Nunai, and Manas, close to Baidoa. Eventually, the ICU was overpowered and withdrew into Mogadishu. Many Islamists fled from their bases, and by January 2007, the Ethiopians had taken control. For 2 years, fierce fighting continued in Mogadishu between the ICU remnants and Ethiopian troops. The Ethiopians bombarded neighborhoods in the city, causing mass casualties and leaving many injured or displaced. The ICU fighters relied on guerrilla tactics, often targeting areas like the pasta factory and the Mogadishu football stadium. The top leadership of the ICU regrouped in Asmara, Eritrea, a country bordering both Ethiopia and Sudan, and historically at odds with Ethiopia. Eritrea saw a strategic opportunity and began supporting the ICU to shift the pressure onto Ethiopia via Somalia. After 2 years in Asmara, the ICU split into 2 factions, one led by Sheikh Sharif Sheikh Ahmed and the other by Hassan Dahir Awais, who was formerly the ICU's chairman with Sharif as his deputy. Awais remained in Asmara, while Sharif's faction moved to Djibouti at the invitation of President Ismail Omar Guelleh to attend peace talks. These discussions led to negotiations between the transitional federal government of Somalia and the Djibouti-based ICU faction, which had rebranded itself as the Alliance for the Re-Liberation of Somalia. Following lengthy talks, Sheikh Sharif was elected president. A new government was formed and relocated to Mogadishu on the condition that Ethiopian troops withdraw from southern and central Somalia, which they eventually did. This marked the beginning of a new chapter. The Islamist movement splintered into 3 factions: the government faction led by President Sheikh Sharif, a second group named Hizbul Islam, led by Hassan Dahir Awais, a third faction that eventually emerged as Al-Shabaab. Violent conflicts broke out in the capital, resulting in Hizbul Islam and Al-Shabaab being driven into rural and mountainous areas. Later, the 2 groups clashed, leading to the surrender of Hassan Dahir Awais, who has since been under house arrest for 13 years, overseen by the Somali government. Al-Shabaab, meanwhile, assassinated most of their senior leadership and continue their insurgency against the Somali government to this day, as of 2025. The transitional government phase ended after Sheikh Sharif's 3-year term. In 2012, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, an educated man, former NGO worker, and founder of Somalia's largest university, CMAD, was elected president. He served for 4 years. Subsequently, in 2016, Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo won the presidency. In 2022, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud returned for a second term, which is currently nearing its end. Today, 99% of southern Somalia is peaceful, although occasional attacks and bombings still occur. In the upcoming 3rd episode, we will explore Somalia's hidden natural resources, many of which remain unknown to most people. Northern Somalia, now known as Somaliland. Northern Somalia, currently known as Somaliland, united with southern Somalia in 1960 to form the Somali Republic. However, after the collapse of Somalia's central government, led by Mohammed Siad Barre, Somaliland reasserted its independence. In the early 1990s, traditional elders convened in several peace and reconciliation conferences held in Burao, in the Togdir region, and Barama, in the Audal region. As a result, in 1992, Somaliland declared itself an independent and self-governing state, separate from the rest of Somalia. The first president was Abdirahman Ahmed Ali. 2 years later, Mohammed Haji Ibrahim Igal assumed leadership. Igal had previously served as Somalia's prime minister, and over the years held several high-level roles, including ministerial and deputy ministerial positions. He passed away in 2002 while receiving treatment in South Africa. He was succeeded by Dahir Riale Kahin. In 2010, Somaliland held its first one-person, one-vote presidential election, in which Ahmed Mohamed Silanyo was elected president. Stay tuned for Episode 3 of our series, titled Somalia's Hidden Wealth. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and share this program with your friends.